nice to see you all. I'm Viola Levy, beauty journalist and founder of Smart Beauty Creative. We offer both beauty and personal brand storytelling. I also host the Smart Beauty podcast, where I speak with industry leaders, much like the esteemed experts we have here with us tonight. Speaking of, I'm thrilled to introduce our distinguished panelists from the LUSH team. So we have LUSH in-house perfumer Alina Gliwinska, who has created several beloved LUSH fragrances, including the Bee's Knees, which I highly recommend you sniff out before you leave tonight if you haven't already. And I've just found out she came all the way from Poole to be with us tonight, so very appreciative. Thank you for coming all this way. And next we have LUSH fragrance category leads, so basically perfume experts, curators, fountains of knowledge, Jen Mattei and Lee Howes. Both started their journeys on the shop floor at LUSH and now oversee all aspects of LUSH perfume, from product launches to staff training, and they helped me and put the event together tonight, so lovely to see you both on the panel. And finally, I'd love to welcome Jodi Francis-James, creative buyer for Essential Oils and Aromachemicals. Jodi sources many of the raw ingredients used across LUSH's entire product range, and transparency and sustainability are at the heart of what she does, which obviously is perfectly aligned with LUSH's core mission. So welcome, everyone. And a huge thank you to Florence on the PR team for helping us put tonight together. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And tonight's topic is Scent as Story, so the emotional power behind the fragrances we wear. Perfume, as many of you here know, has an extraordinary ability to unlock memories and emotions in a way that few products can match. This storytelling potential is what draws me personally to writing about fragrance as a journalist and working with perfume brands through Smart Beauty. And I know it's something that LUSH executes brilliantly well, so I'm really excited to be talking about this with the four of you. There will be a time for a Q&A, so make sure you have your questions ready. So let's dive in. So first off, LUSH has been smelling us before you see us for 30 years now. I used to be able to smell their shop like walking down the high street, as I'm sure many of us can attest. So Jen, I'd like to ask you, how has your approach to fragrance storytelling evolved since those early days? And what stories were you trying to tell from the very beginning?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, we have been storytelling with fragrance right from the beginning, so right from the early days. So our earliest fragrance launches, we launched them a bit like music, so we launched them as if it was a vinyl, so it was a volume and a track, and that was our method of storytelling.
I remember
at the time.
That, it was so cool.
And since then, we've done various things. So sometimes we've launched new fragrances with all of our stories in a comic book, so you could actually go through step by step of what exactly inspired the perfumer to create the fragrance. For other times, we've actually done an immersive gallery, probably one of my favorites, and we've done lots of iterations of these. So we actually did one many years back underneath a record shop just around the corner, and our latest one that we did, we actually toured around the globe. And when we do something like that, we're taking storytelling to the next level. So we want a fully immersive experience for our guests. We want them to not only smell the fragrance, we want them to dive into the story, touch, see, smell, and actually, a bit like the cocktails you might have had just earlier, to taste them as well. And coming forward to the present day, we want to do storytelling in our shops. So it's not possible for everyone to come to these kind of galleries and immersive experiences. So you might have seen in our library shop at the front here that we had a big box in the middle, and that is our kind of storytelling tool for our new fragrances. So in that box, you've got all of the perfumes, and underneath them is a drawer, and in the drawer, there's either a tape which links to the music that inspired the fragrance, or we've got a ceramic vase, a piece of material, maybe some ingredients. So you're right, we've been storytelling for years, and we want to do it in a different way each time.
I think I remember going to like a cinema event you guys did on the Oxford Street store, and it was like a drive-in movie, and they played Almost Famous, and I think it was Sunshine, the fragrance it was amazing. I mean, when it comes to LUSH and perfumery, I mean, I'm sure we've all use a bath bomb from Lush, or I just remember those like gorgeous mountains of soap. But where does perfume fit into the Lush story? Lee, would you like to take that one?
Big stretch. Yeah. I'll be in the gym. I haven't. Yeah, I think at Lush lots of you will have been in a Lush shop before, I assume. We're kind of a brand of many things, a brand of many voices, and we do have like fun and engaging big, huge bubble bath demos next to a spa where you get beautiful spa treatments that relax you and soothe you, next to really intimate perfume consultations, next to an area where you can smack a shower jelly and maybe even hear like a song play. So one of the things that we always kind of guide us at Lush is we want to be a brand for everyone. We want to be a brand that can support every type of customer as much as we possibly can. So yes, we have all those fun, playful, at times playfully childish, but we love it, kind of elements. We do still have like a beautiful rooting in fine perfumery. And we're really lucky at Lush that we've got in-house perfumers, so we're not outsourcing our perfumery to anyone else. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we get 3 in-house perfumers like Alina, alongside Emma and Mark, our other 2 perfumers, who can create these beautiful fragrances that really tell stories in a beautiful way. And they are the same perfumers that we create the fragrances for our perfumes and our body sprays and our home fragrance, alongside our bath bombs and our shower gels and our shower jellies. So the inspiration and the innovation is there throughout every single product, whether it's the fragrance category or not, which is really, really, really special.
I think it's lovely that everyone's kind of immersed in that Lush world and in the storytelling as well. And obviously at Smart Beauty, we're about storytelling. And we've seen from recent news stories how beauty brands constantly need to keep that storytelling fresh and evolve it in order to survive. Which Lush, I think, have done really well. I mean, 30 years, congratulations. Jodi, how does perfume play a role in that when it comes to the storytelling element of Lush?
I think with Lush, and it's a way that we distinguish ourselves from other brands, we've always been storytelling.
Yes.
It's been part of our fingerprint from day one. So it's not necessarily a formula, but fragrance is at the heart of everything we do. And you said it in your opening, you smell us before you see us kind of thing. And even when you grab the bath bomb, some customers don't even know why they're attracted to that. So for Christmas, as buyers, sometimes we do half a day or a day in a shop. And the 2 things that every customer that came in, they were either, I want this bath bomb because I like the color, or I like the smell. And smell is literally at the heart of that. So I don't think we can separate that from any type of concept, any type of trend. It's just what we do.
Yeah, I think smell is such a crucial part when it comes to like storytelling, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It really makes all the difference. And Alina, when you're developing a new fragrance, do you start with the story and then build the scent around it? Or does the story sort of become apparent as you're working on the scent? Can you kind of talk us through the process of how that works?
Yeah, so for me, I think it can be both, but the story is most likely the first. And I feel that memory, what inspired me, and some emotion which I feel, I want to put them in the fragrance, in my perfume. And it's not need to be fine fragrance, it can be also our products, which I want to tell a story. So I think first I have the story. One of examples is my fragrance, the Bee's Knees. I created on a memory of my father. My father had bees, and
She's so cool, by the way.
yeah, and he, in the very warm summer day, spent all day tending to the bees. He used a smoker to keep them calm, take the honey, and later, after a long day, came home smelling lovely of beeswax,
Oh, I can imagine.
smoke, honey, flowers, and that sun-kissed warm skin. And to create that fragrance, I want to put it all that in that perfume, that memory. So when you smell them, you kind of can feel those moments. And I think it's very important. And for me, fragrance is very personal. And
It is.
Yes. And I think if you put a bit of yourself in the fragrance, people can kind of more relate to it and find also something which can be personal for them as well.
What does your dad think of the Bee's Knees?
He loves it, actually.
Yeah.
He got the first bottle before it was launched.
Yeah. Oh, bless. I'm sure it meant a lot to him that you kind of paid tribute to him through that scent. And obviously now, Jen, Lush perfumes aren't like any kind of traditional fragrance house. What makes your philosophy sort of fundamentally different from anything else that is on the market? And yes, how does that unconventional approach like really enhance your storytelling?
Yeah, well, I think when we started, so we did fragrance right from the beginning, our philosophy was that our fragrances were gender neutral and that we told stories. And actually nowadays we feel like lots of other fragrance houses are also doing this, but a part of our philosophy that we sort of really continue to embody is that we believe fragrance is for everyone, and we want it to be as accessible as we can possibly make it. So we offer fragrance in multiple sizes, in different formats, and we also really focus on what's inside of the bottle. So there's this quote that we always had that is, "Perfume is the point." And we still follow with that message. So we're not investing heavily in an ornate bottle or like a fancy bottle and elaborate packaging. We're actually putting our investment into what goes inside the bottle. And with that, we're actually doing everything that we can to keep the price for the customer as low as possible, so it really is accessible. And yeah, that's how I think we're sort of continuing with that element of our philosophy.
And I love what you've done. Like, we've obviously all seen like the Perfume Library and what you've done with that. And I think it's sort of a departure from that traditional beauty hall experience of shopping for scent. Would you say that's?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Our Perfume Library is a concept. So it's what's at the front of this space here. We only have a small amount of these worldwide, but you can actually find our Lush fragrances in all Lush shops. But a Perfume Library is a space where you house all of our fragrances. So I think we've got over 50 perfumes and probably pushing over 20 body sprays at the moment. We're expanding our home fragrance category, and it's a Perfume Library because we also have books there, and these books are there because they're the same books that are in our perfumers labs or recommended by perfumers, essential oil buyers, us. So we really believe that other people can create perfumery just like our perfumers did as well, and that's why we want it to be a space to really immerse yourself in everything that comes with fragrance.
I mean, perfume and books, what more do you want, really? And Lee, like Lush have created like gender neutral fragrances long before it was a trend. I mean, how do you think removing those gender boundaries can change the stories that your fragrances are telling?
Yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's about accessibility, right? So who decides that one type of smell is only for one type of person?
Yes.
And at Lush, we're really lucky that in terms of gender, we've got a really wide diversity of expression, and it's something we're super proud of. So, a fragrance can be designed by someone who identifies as a man. It can be about a man, but a woman or a non-binary person can absolutely still wear that fragrance.
Yes.
There's nothing to say that they can't. So we don't necessarily split films or music or anything else by gender. So why do we perfume? It makes absolutely no sense. So we're really passionate that the stories that we can tell through fragrance can be read, if you like, worn, understood and enjoyed by anyone. So it's something that we're super passionate about.
Yeah, I think you guys were the real trailblazers where that was concerned. And Jodi, how does the whole process of deciding the final fragrance of a product come together? I'm sure it's not linear. Can you kind of give some insight into that? Like, how do you sort of collaborate with the other product formulators at Lush?
Coming from a buyer's perspective, I would definitely say it's not a linear process. Like everything else we do at Lush, it's very dynamic, and anything else would just be a knock on creativity. Sometimes we visit a supplier and innately you just know, oh my goodness, Alina is going to love this material. Some of our inventors, our founders, like Ro, she's very visual, she loves color. And maybe you have an essential oil that's like really blue or a really golden color, and it's like, actually, Ro is gonna love this. It's very instinctively driven, I would say, and once you get the ingredient in the right perfumer's hands or in the right inventor's hands, everything just goes from there.
Must be lovely to be part of that process.
Absolutely.
Yes, Alina, which Lush fragrance are you most proud of? And what story does it tell? Like, how does wearing it make you feel?
Yeah, I think there is lots of beautiful fragrances which I am proud of, but my personal favorite one is Soho perfume. Emma created it based on the poet Sappho, and I think it's beautiful fragrance, bold, give you confidence, and I do believe that it's all about the women who are trading the who are actually paving the way for us.
Yeah.
And they are. When I wear it, I feel strong, a bit more confident, and the smell is beautiful. It's smoky. It have tobacco, but have also a bit of flower notes there. So I think it's beautiful, and when you wear it, it can bring your confidence.
Definitely, we're all about that strong feminine energy, and that doesn't matter how you identify. I think everyone could do with a bit more of that. And when you're creating obviously you're aware of like the power it has over someone's emotions and how it can unlock memories. Is that sort of front of mind when you're creating a fragrance, like how it's going to really affect someone in that way?
Yes. I think because we are in LUSH so emotional when we create the fragrance, we always think about good ingredients, how we can use them, and what emotion they bring, and that's always part of it. To make sure that fragrance is not just nice scent, that it actually reflect with you, bring you emotion. When you think about that, when you actually it's wake you up, you start think about it. I think it's very important that it's part of you, not something what you just wear because it's smelling nice.
No, exactly. We were saying earlier, like it could be like a first date or your wedding day or, any kind of big event. That scent will always bring you back to that specific point in time. And it must be such an honor as a perfumer to be able to create sort of fragrances that transport people back to sort of significant moments in their life.
Yeah, I think so. That's the beautiful part. I always say when I started and when I create my fragrance that the most rewarding will be smell someone wearing my fragrance on the street.
I can imagine.
To know that it somehow affects someone and it's important in their life, in some part of their life.
Because it's so personal. It's just the most intimate thing you can wear, isn't it? And Jen, I think with the rise of wellness as a trend, do you think that people are now wearing fragrances for different reasons, not just to sort of smell nice in general or for somebody else, but to really kind of, boost the mood and sort of tap into, their emotional well-being?
Yeah, absolutely. We like often refer to fragrance as your superpower. So actually, Lee and I both sort of believe that we're not really into the signature scent quite so much, and we lean towards having like a scent wardrobe.
I'm the same.
Almost like a toolkit to harness your mood. And actually that's why we developed fragrance readings within our LUSH shop. So we really tied in with that idea of fragrance can be there to sort of give you something when you need it, or maybe shift your mood, a little confidence boost, a bit of energy. And the fragrance readings are a tool where you can sit down with a customer in any LUSH shop and they will show you a series of cards, and you can actually pick how you would like to feel in the morning, in the middle of the day, and when day turns to night. And because we have so many fragrances, we can offer you more than one to kind of tie in to sort of that setting and scenario that you would like to see yourself in at that time of day. So yeah, in short, I agree. People are definitely using fragrance for more than just smelling good. It's about feeling good as well.
No, for sure. I had a scented tarot reading with Lee just now, and I don't know if people are able to have them after we've done the panel talk. Yes. But I definitely recommend, because I need to feel more joy in my life. I have a toddler, and it's just chaos. It's a lot. And you recommended Chelsea Morning, and oh my gosh, it's just so addictive. Like, definitely check it out if you haven't. It's just totally addictive. Jodi, do you have a favourite ingredient? What was the ingredient you said was in Chelsea Morning that was just really addictive?
Several. So
fenugreek, that was the one.
Fenugreek,
yes.
Yeah, that maple syrupy sort of.
Oh my gosh, yeah, obsessed. But Jodi, what's your favourite kind of ingredient that you like to work with?
I'm not sure if that's a fair question, Viola.
Or ingredients. What's your short list? What's top 5?
Oh, top 5, that's good.
go with
Sandalwood, lemongrass, jasmine, Divana, and
think jasmine's
I must
so
say
sexy.
patchouli. I must.
Patchouli is like,
Yes.
it's an antidepressant, isn't it? It's
Absolutely.
It's just a happy scent in
Yes.
general. I think that's why the hippies just loved it, because it was just,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you also asked why. I think I like to take sandalwood as an example, just to highlight the work we do at LUSH. We try to stand out and we try to go beyond sustainable with everything we do. So sandalwood is one of our bigger volume users for us. And the project that we work with for sandalwood, they plant 7 to 10 times more trees every
Amazing.
single time they do a production. So we're not just trying to be sustainable, we're aiming for regeneration in LUSH buying, and that's almost a champion ingredient to demonstrate that.
Must be a lovely thing to be part of.
It's an amazing feeling.
And whereabouts in the world is that?
It's in West Timor in Indonesia.
Oh, fantastic. Because I know Australia are doing some amazing things as well with sandalwood and...
We do have a smaller supplier in terms of volume that we buy sandalwood for in Australia, and also that highlights the power in diversification of our supply chains.
Yeah.
And this specific supplier, actually, they're platinum rated for EcoCert, and there's only 1% of suppliers in the world that have achieved that rating. So I think that's a great highlight as well.
Fantastic. And Lee, what role does scent play in... We were talking, like Jen was mentioning about, you know, you're not into signature scents, which I'm not either, because it's like you wouldn't wear the same clothes every day. Why would you wear the same perfume? I mean, in your opinion, what role does scent play in helping people to step into different aspects of their personality or different chapters of their life story? And I know Laura will appreciate this, because she's all about how you dress is kind of how you express your personality and your story. So what's your take on it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the first thing is that we're not the same person at every given point in any given day. So we're different people based on the people we're around, the situation that we're in, the things that have happened to us that day, and all of those different people.
It's exhausting, isn't it?
Oh God, I just want to lay down, to be honest. But
it's like, who am I at the end of the day?
who
I don't
am
know.
I? It's a dangerous question to answer.
It's another panel talk for another.
For another day. But yeah, we have different needs at any given point in the day, and I think to be conscious of that and to react to that is really powerful. Like when we were talking earlier, you know, we don't wear the same outfit to every single day as we do to any other. You know, we have different clothes, we express ourselves in different ways for different times, and why can't fragrance also do that for us? So I'd also say that through our lives we change as well. So, you know, when I've been working for LUSH for 17 years next week. And when
you must like it.
Yeah, and when I started, my experience of the fragrance world was Lynx Atlantis body spray under my armpits, and that was it. Like, that was all.
The Lynx effect.
It would be beautiful. Take me back. And nothing wrong with that at all, but you change through your life and you learn things and you diversify who you are and who you need to be, and fragrance can capture those small moments and pockets of time and sit in the background to be that this is who you need to be on a Tuesday morning at 8 a.m, but this is who you can be on a Friday night at 10 p.m. Those two people are very, very different in my experience.
Yeah.
So let's have a different fragrance to kind of play around with. Perfume can and should be about play as well as kind of communicating something. So.
I think people are scared and like intimidated by the way. It's kind of like the world of wine or something. They think, well, I don't know enough about it, so I'm not going to step out of my comfort zone. I'm not going to like mix it up. But
yeah, I think that's probably true. And also we know that fragrance on the whole is a huge investment for the majority of people in the world. These products traditionally,
it's a luxury.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not a cheap kind of thing to buy into, but if you have the funds and if you have the accessibility, then get out there and play and experience. Yeah. And obviously, you know, we have a retail background, me and Jen, and that's where our expertise really sits. We always say, particularly with LUSH, go and get a consultation. At the end of the day, even if you don't buy anything, you're going to leave smelling incredible. Yeah. Because we can load you up. It's fine. So, yeah, feel free to give yourself the time, if you can, to have a play and experience and try something that you think you wouldn't like, because sometimes you find the gems in that. So I never thought I would be a floral wearer. Sappho, because it comes with some of those smoky elements. I wear Sappho all the time. And if it's for the right time.
Like a facet of your personality.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing to have a play around with.
And Alina, like as we know, scent is deeply connected to memory. I mean, how do you sort of craft fragrances knowing that they're going to sort of create those like meaningful, lasting memories?
I think it's sometimes starts also with our lovely ingredients. We are fortunate to use a lot of natural essential oils, and they are produced around the world, and we use them through the years. And I think for everyone, some of those scents already have a lot of emotional. Brings a lot of emotion in different parts of the world. And when we use them specifically for actually emotion which we want to put in the fragrance or the story. I think, for example, like Sleepy, we use lovely lavender, which is calming. We use tonka, which is very comforting, foodie stuff. And creating fragrance with both will bring you more calmness and give you actually the feel of being like health and very calm. And I think that's how we can kind of bring those stories and how people can use them to use in the time of their life when they need that to actually bring those emotion which they need for.
It's a vital like mental health tool, isn't it, scent? I think people overlook that quite a lot. And Jodi, like how do your, obviously like ethical sourcing is something that LUSH has pioneered since the beginning. I mean, does knowing the sort of full journey of the ingredients, sort of touching what you were saying earlier about the sandalwood, does that sort of sometimes sort of influence the stories that fragrances can tell?
Yes, absolutely. I think I probably need to take it back that LUSH is a campaigning company. This is the heart of what we do. And part of that directly links into buying. So the 3 pillars of what we really believe in are earth care, fair share, and policy in general. Yeah. So when we buy this ingredient, we're not just buying the materials separately from the people who produce it. We're telling the story from the very beginning, what it means to the people there.
And you've always done that.
We've
it's
always
not like,
done that.
Now we're doing it, let's have a pat on the back because it's something that's in your brand DNA.
Exactly. And telling all the dimensions of the story, of the supply chain, actually gives us more opportunity to create more stories through our perfumers and also to create more stories with the wearers, because what the perfume means to me might not be what it means to you. So just producing so many stories along the supply chain opens us up to so much more possibility with storytelling on the other side as well.
I could imagine. And Alina, as a female perfumer, sort of telling those stories, obviously the industry has been traditionally very male-dominated. How does your sort of female perspective sort of change the stories that LUSH tells through fragrance?
I think, first of all, we give the voice to another half of the population.
Yeah.
Because men were creating them. And we are a bit different. I think we a bit more emotional. I think we put a bit more calmness. We put our kind of passion in the scent. So it's not so strict kind of and traditional. I think we bring in the softness our side. I think we reflect the kind of another half, and because of that we kind of can mix those two. Kind of our fragrance can be also bold, strong, but there is also softness, inclusivity of everyone, and I think it's very important that we can represent everyone, and that's kind of, it's nice that women can be also part of it.
Yeah, I mean, when you were entering the field of perfumery as a woman, did you encounter any kind of pushback or kind of challenges because of your gender, would you say, or?
To be honest, in LUSH, no.
Not in LUSH, no, but I mean more in general, like when you were telling people that's what you wanted to do.
I think that's the beauty of LUSH. Everyone is welcome, so it's really nice. In traditional perfumes, I will probably be not in the position which I am now, and I am really grateful to be actually LUSH perfumer, because I have lots of creativity freedom, and I can
That's so important,
yes,
isn't it?
Yes, so we kind of working on our stories, on our memories, and what we want to tell, what our brand kind of want to reflect.
Do they give you a brief, or are they just like, go for it and see what you come up with?
Can be both, especially collaboration and different, but it's mostly my feeling, and I can
That's amazing.
show what I like, and we can talk about it. So I think it's very important when with traditional perfumers it's more about actually briefing, and they need to be in the form and do
ticking all the boxes and things like that.
And I think it's lovely to have that opportunity to creativity, and being a woman, it's even nicer because you can really represent yourself, what you feel, and put yourself inside the perfume.
No, for sure, because we move through the world in a different way, don't we? So obviously that's going to translate through the perfumes that we create. And Lee, where do you see the intersection of fragrance and storytelling heading? I mean, let's say like the next 30 years of Lush perfumery, like how do you see these narratives evolving?
Yeah, probably in a few ways, to be honest. I think one of the things that we have seen kind of change and adapt is, when we started in 95, 30 years ago, the perfumer was Mark Constantine, who's our CEO and obviously a lead perfumer for us. But the perspectives of our fragrances will change depending on the perfumers that come into that space. So obviously since then we've had Emma Vincent, one of our perfumers, we've had Alina, and in 30 years' time we may have other perfumers who are coming and bringing their perspective. So I think from a storytelling specific angle and the stories that we want to tell through the creativity process, we'll see that evolve depending on who is making those fragrances. They'll always remain in-house. They'll always remain kind of part of the Lush family, but we'll see those perspectives change. I think also when we're thinking about another type of story, our buying stories, there are new materials coming through. We may discover new materials that we want to use that we need to support in some way, and that will change and pivot the storytelling. And I think for mine and Jen's perspective, as people who kind of work more directly with retail and helping people to find the right fragrances for them, then we will always try and adapt the way that we serve our customers in order to meet whatever demand is in front of us. So there's three stories with every perfume. There's the inspiration behind it, there's the way it was made with the materials, but then the third one is the one that we can't say, because it is the story that the wearer creates when they wear it. And for many people, that is one of those stories that it needs to be the most tangible. It can be the most important for them. So for us, it's about adapting to the customer in front of us, adapting to the wider industry to make sure that we can help the right people find the right fragrances for the right times. And as long as we keep doing that, then hopefully we'll keep evolving and helping people find the right stories for them.
Definitely. And like you and Jen obviously both started on the shop floor, and I think that, I was saying to you earlier, I think the floor staff are kind of the unsung heroes of the beauty industry, and you're kind of on the front line talking to the customers, and because it's such a subjective thing, I think the sort of scent that you pick out for somebody, it really kind of makes all the difference, doesn't it? It's a huge kind of responsibility in a way.
Yeah, we're really proud of our staff. We're really proud of the people who work on our shop floors and the way that they really care about the people they've got in front of them and the way that they can support them as much as possible. So yeah, it's something that we particularly when we're in Beak Street and we see the experts that we have at the front of our building, like it always just makes us smile, because we know that the customers on that shop floor are going to hopefully leave with something that really connects with them in a deep way, and that's essentially kind of what we're here to do. So,
no, for sure.
Yeah,
I think the Lush approach to customer service is unlike any other. I think everyone can agree that it's very unique in that sense. And I've started working with Smart Beauty on personal branding and helping sort of entrepreneurs and thought leaders kind of tell their own story. And fragrance, I think, is a big part of kind of telling your own story and sort of stepping in, especially if you're kind of stepping into a new chapter of your life. Jen, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to use fragrance in that way, kind of more intentionally, as like, okay, this is like who I am, or this is like, this is the new phase of me. How would you
I love
advise
that, the
them?
new era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Renaissance.
I think you can use fragrance really intentionally to basically scent elements of your life. So we see it more and more now. If you've got a big life moment coming up, so you're getting married, you're having a big party, you're going on holiday, or even you're actually just taking a big shift in your life, you're moving elsewhere or starting a new role, try a new perfume. That's your moment to spray on something new and allow that scent to kind of bottle the memories that you're creating at that time. We're working on ways to identify how you should find a scent for big events like your wedding. And it actually, for us, was really interesting because it involved asking questions that didn't relate to scent whatsoever. And they're also quite nice questions to ask yourself when you're looking for a fragrance for a new era. Maybe you think about like hobbies. How do you want to feel? What you're going to be wearing? What's the temperature like? They're all absolutely key in finding something to wear on your skin, or even like something to scent the space in your home. Or
it's like stepping out of your comfort zone, isn't it? It's like what you were saying, Lee, about you wouldn't normally wear Sappho, and then you've realised that that's sort of like, you know, that's become like your go-to in a way. So it's about sort of not just what's going to suit me, but actually what do I like and what am I interested in, and taking a few risks and being a bit more experimental.
Yeah, or even if you're actually not sure about it to begin with, wear it and do something while you're wearing it. Go somewhere and then actually see how you feel about it after that. Often it changes.
Yeah, no, completely agree. And speaking of sort of being experimental, obviously Lush is known for that kind of, for its bold and like unconventional scent combinations. Jodi, how do the ingredients you select kind of play into that? Are there sort of any kind of sort of unexpected notes or surprising ingredients that you think, oh, okay, that can tell an interesting story? I mean, how does that work from your perspective?
That's a great question. I would say, literally, we try to celebrate the ingredients in products. And the best example of that actually is our collaborations and our co-create ranges. For example, our Diwali range. We have an Anuka range, especially, that does so well in North America as well. And these are the points where like the lesser known ingredients get to shine. So we tell the story in the Diwali range of Davana, where it's used in Hinduism in India, and actually it's presented to the deity Shiva by those who believe in it, and after that's done, then it's collected and transformed into what we need for perfumes. So really celebrating these ingredients, the niche ones, the unknown ones, the better known ones, it's really what we do, and we try to do it as best as possible.
Yeah, I think Lush just do it so wonderfully well as well.
Yes.
What sort of like, obviously, you know, Lush has collaborated with external sort of partners in the last few years. Alina, what was your favourite kind of collaboration and why?
I think for me, I did quite a few product and body spray fragrances for our collaboration, but the favorite is the Wicked collaboration. I did 2 body spray representing Elphaba and Glinda, and I
Brilliant.
think,
I love Wicked.
I love the musical. I love the movie.
That must have been like the dream project. I mean, I would just,
I see some parts of it before actually premiere, so it's give me inspiration. Show me those 2 beautiful characters, very strong women, and completely kind of different, but getting together and becoming friends. So I really enjoy it to create that 2 body sprays which represent both characters, but can be also mixed together. So that's one of my favorites. But I think Mario collab was also really nice. It's so memorable. Yeah, I think it's for every
like the
age.
Super Mario scent is just,
so funny, lots of colorful, fruity, and them. So it was really, really playful.
Oh, I mean, how do you scent Mario? I mean, that's just...
I did Princess Peach.
Oh, amazing.
A bit easier.
Yeah. Well, that would just give me like all the nostalgia, and it's just so iconic. So it must have been such a fun,
very playful.
Fun
You can play with the materials, bring up a bit more fruity and playful scents. Yeah.
Well, we're almost at the end of our time before we open it up to the floor. But the last thing I'd like to ask to all of you, so feel free to jump in. But obviously, Lush has influenced, you know, the wider industry, despite the presence of like, you know, other larger companies over the last 30 years. What do you think you'd like the biggest impact of Lush perfumes to be, if that isn't too much of a kind of grandiose question?
It's a big one.
What's your mission with Lush perfumes? Like, what would you like people to come away feeling?
Yeah, personally, it is about, I want people to experience joy through the fragrances that we offer. I want people to find connection, to spark memories, spark thoughts, feel something deeply. in a really positive way. Like, I know that I've done my job when I finish speaking to someone and I know that they've left with a fragrance that is going to in some way help them or shift them or change them for the better. So I think if we keep being able to offer that as a service to the people who come to our brand or come to our door, then I'll personally be really, really super happy. Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
Again, Viola, I want to go from the buying perspective. For us, and Ruth will be very happy that I've said this, we've got this slogan, we want to leave the world lusher than we found it. And I think with all the naysayers, you know, everyone saying like, oh, things are going to get worse, we would really love to leave the stamp with the way that we buy in terms of regeneration. So 30 years from now, we want to be able to say that we did the right thing, and actually we went beyond sustainability, and also we've left a world for the next generation that's going to be better than where we started.
Exactly, and I think, like, you know, more brands are now following suit, and now it's becoming, you know, a given rather than just, you know, a selling point. It's
Yes,
consumers
it's really
expect,
becoming
which I think is
the baseline.
which I think is so important. Would you guys like to add to that?
Yeah, I think for me it's very important to bring emotion, to move you. I don't care if you are if you hate that fragrance, you love it. If I bring emotion, it's good perfume.
It's like art. You have to feel something.
Yes,
you know,
and I think that's very important. I don't want to create 5 fragrances which you smell and don't remember what you smell it. Every single one is very different and impactful, and that's for me very important. And I think because of that, everyone can find something for them, and that's what we are about, to bring scent and emotion and everything for everyone, for every single customer.
It's so emotional, isn't it, perfume? I think that's why I love it so much. I think why most of us are drawn to it. So, thank you for that. And Jen, would you like to have the last word?
Yeah, I think just to echo what everyone else has said, our mission has always been to fill the world with perfume, and I hope that in 30 years' time we're still doing exactly that. Yeah.
I'm sure you will be. Does anyone have any questions? I think we've got a roving mic somewhere.
Hiya. So Lush has a lot of iconic cult classic perfumes like Snow Fairy and Karma and Sticky Dates more recently. Have there been any perfumes you've been surprised haven't reached that level of celebrity?
Yeah, actually. So there's a perfume that I think might have circulated around
I
here.
thought I had the answer in my hand.
Yeah, so there's a fragrance called Shade, which we touched on a little bit about the buying story, and the buying story is at the heart of that fragrance. It's a soft, creamy sandalwood. It's so wearable and so delicious. And it kind of is a bit of a well-kept secret, and we don't know why.
What's it called? Shade?
Shade perfume.
Right, everyone go out and wear that.
I mean, the answer's the same, it's Shade. But it's the one that we wear. And it's just, I don't know, it's just got this ability to be calm when you want it to be calm, and soft when you want it to be soft, but fresh when you want it to be fresh. I think it's a really changeable fragrance. And I think we launched it on its own. Sometimes we see bigger fanfare when we launch a whole collection of fragrances. So like last year we launched our latest collection, and Chelsea Morning was a part of that, which we've already mentioned, and that has skyrocketed.
I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah, it's not quite beating Karma as our bestseller, but it's getting close. So yeah, I think Shade is one of those ones that it is a bit more understated. It's not a Snow Fairy. It's not going to hit you in the face with this bold.
It's more of a sleeper hit.
Yeah, it is a sleeper hit. Yeah. So if you want to, feel free to try it on before you leave.
Yeah.
Because I always get so many compliments when I wear it. But yeah, Shade. Yeah.
Yes. Amberina has a question.
Yep.
This is something that Lee was saying, so a question for Lee, but also for anyone. You were saying that the perfumes may change over time as the perfumers that you have at Lush change over time. But how much, if at all, do you think that the perfumes that have come through or will come through in the next 30 years or so will be affected by trends in perfume?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. So I think one of the things that differs with Lush is, I'm not saying that we don't pay attention to
I
trends.
was going to say, like, is that a thing for you guys? Are you bothered by trends?
I think we like to know what people want, but are we actively making fragrances specifically because there's a trend? No, not really. It's great when those two things align, but because, and Alina, you might want to speak on this a little bit, but because the creation of our fragrances is mainly rooted in the stories we want to tell, that's kind of what drives us in to decide what we want to put out there into the world. So for us, Chelsea Morning was kind of a happy accident that we were launching it at a time when Gourmand happens to be super popular, but it wasn't necessarily created because Gourmand was super popular. It was created because someone loved a beautiful song by Joni Mitchell. So yeah, we don't necessarily follow trends in like a really key way. It's useful for us to know about them, but I think we will keep telling the stories which we think are the most important ones to tell, as opposed to necessarily following too closely what else is kind of going on. That's at least how I feel anyway. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think for the 30 years we have lots of Gourmand stand anyway. And it just happened now that actually it's so popular, but we had them before, because we always create from actually storytelling, from the lovely ingredients which we use and when they work with, so that's really important part. And I think that always will stay with us, that we want to celebrate the ingredients which we use, we want to celebrate our lives, what we feeling, what we actually, what our problems, issue and happy joys are in our life. And I think that's kind of resonate with lots of people. And earlier or later that will be a trend, like now the Gourmands, which like Let the Good Time Roll, it's very kind of old fragrance of us, and now it's very popular. Same Sticky Dates even, when we came up with shower gel, it wasn't so much Gourmand notes there. We just feel that carob is really lovely resin, it's really lovely ingredients. We can make beautiful fragrance with it. And I think that's how it is with us. And also we really believe in aromatherapy. We use lots of essential oils, so that's also part of it. Sleepy is very popular scent. It have that Gourmand notes with tonka under lavender, but it was created for the benefits, and now it's happened that Gourmand are really popular. So I think that's always will be with us. We will always want to make sure that our fragrances represent the feelings and bring something to you. And earlier or later that will be trendy, but we still will have a huge range of scent for everyone.
And I think some trends can seep in subconsciously, can't they? Especially kind of with the sort of connection between scent and wellness. I think everyone's waking up now to the importance of wellness, and they're paying attention to their emotional well-being. So I think that some scents can just come about as a sort of natural, result of that, as opposed to, oh, look, there's a trend, let's follow that, let's do a scent like that. I think it can just be an organic thing. Do you not agree? Yeah.
You just reminded me of something that actually I think really explains this really well. Is one of the questions that we get asked quite a lot is why, for a brand that isn't just perfume focused but does everything, why do we have pushing 70 fragrances on offer? And it's because we want there to be choice. So we may not be creating a fragrance for a trend, but we'd like to think that anytime a trend pops up, we've probably got something for you.
It's a clever tactic.
Yeah,
it's
maybe not intentional, but that's kind of added in there as well.
Yeah, it makes sense. Any other questions? Anyone else want to?
I was just quite curious how difficult it was to turn an iconic fragrance from, like, say, a hair conditioning product like Supermilk into a perfume. Like, was that an easy transition, or is that actually quite difficult?
It's tricky. It's really tricky because there is different regulation for different type of products. You need to be careful with your skin, with your hair, with area under eyes. We also creating lots of naked products, so you need to create strong base, so the naked product will actually smell quite long on the in your bathroom and also on our floors, shop floors. So it is tricky, and we need to carefully make sure that they work for every single kind of type of products. But it can be done, mostly can be done.
No, it's done very well, yeah. Thank you.
Deborah, would you like to?
This is more geared towards Jen and Lee. How do you see the future of retailing fragrance for customers? I think there's a lot of speculation about how technology and AI is changing the experience and the ways in which we shop for fragrance. How do you, from your observations, your sort of listings on the shop floor, see the future of fragrance shopping?
I think nothing beats talking to a person, and I think at Lush we're probably never going to take that away, and actually in the future that might be again something that will make us stand out. But yeah, truly nothing beats talking to a person about fragrance and actually having the opportunity to pop it on your skin. Something that we're really passionate about is when you come into our shops, you will always be invited to try fragrance. Like, we'll spritz it on the strip, we'll make sure it's on your skin, we'll be recommending all sort of different ways to help your fragrance last longer and things like that. So yes, it is great that all of this technology is being worked on, but for us, we just love to talk.
You can't say fairer than that. And I think the kind of, as I was saying earlier, that the traditional beauty hall experience, people, feel intimidated by that. So spaces like this, I think, are really important because not everyone also wants to shop online because they like having the scent in front of them to be able to sort of smell. I think that's, the best way you can shop for scent, really. Anyone else? Any final thoughts? Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining me tonight.